guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you how to restore your Nexus 6P straight back to stock, unrooting it, and also possibly unbricking it if you have problems booting back into Android. So today I'll be showing you how to do all that, and let's begin. So go ahead and open up these links in the more info that you'll find below. First off, we'll need a couple things to download to start, and a couple things to make. So bring up a location where you can download everything and remember where they're stored. So I've just made an Android folder within my E drive, and which will contain everything that we're going to use to restore our phone back to stock. So just keep that in mind. I'll be saving everything in there. So first things first, you're going to have to download the Google USB drivers for the bootloader here. I believe this computer already has them installed, but go ahead and download this, and I'll show you where to use it just in case you can't find it. So go ahead and tap on that blue button, tick here, and tap on download USB driver again. Now you see I'm going to save it in the Android folder here, and I'm just going to hit save. This won't take too long, it's already done. We'll leave it in that zip for now. We're going to close this, and also I'd recommend that you have an unarchiving program such as WinRAR or 7-zip, so you can extract the files from our stock image file. So next thing we need to download is the latest platform tools. You can get this from the Android SDK if you already have it, but if you don't, I've just put all the 4 files you need in there. Well, just one really, but I've bundled in there the adb.exe, the 2 DLLs, and also the 1 fastboot.exe. Go ahead and download the platform tools.zip and extract those, so you can get these 4 files here, the ADB, the 2 DLLs, and the fastboot.exe in our Android folder. So it looks like that. Don't worry about these folders, they're just there from previous videos. So once you've downloaded that and extracted it, you can close it. And this is where we're going to find out, download the latest factory image for our phone. So we're going to, on the side here, just tap on Angler for Nexus 6P on the contents. And of course you're going to download the latest one here, which is the MMB29P as of recording. So the later ones will be at the bottom, so click on that link and of course save it to our Android folder. I've already downloaded this, but go ahead and save it here, and I'll just copy it from my hard drive. I don't want to download it 2 GB again. So we can now get started after I've copied once everything's downloaded. Alrighty, so it's almost copied over. Hopefully your folder looks a little bit like this. At least you'll have all of these in there. If not, then please make it look like this, so you got everything together. So now we're going to take our well, actually we'll do something a little bit different here. We're going to extract the TGZ file here, our stock image, factory images. We're going to right click and extract here. It has a subfolder inside. Okay, so it's almost done, and after this we'll proceed to our next step, which is so now you're going to see this Angler. We're going to have I want to call it the ID of the factory image, as well as a folder. So we're going to right click and open it in a new window. So we can pretty much have these side by side, because we will need it. We're going to need to access this exe part in a second, but we won't after. So right now, this is fine. You're going to get these particular files here. You're going to get our bootloader image. We have the scripts here to flash them all, which don't work unless you do some fiddling around, which we won't do. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. And we have our radio image, and then we have our image zip, which is our update zip, which contains our boot image, our cache, user data, system, vendor images, such as that. So what we're going to do is right-click and extract those files here, not to another folder, just so we can have all our images and stuff lined up together. As you can see, we're already getting a few. We have our system image here, and soon we're going to have a lot of the others. So go ahead and extract that zip file there to the same directory, so all of the whatever's inside comes out along in the same folder really. and then from there we're going to start the flashing process. Alrighty, so as you can see, we have a large variety of images now, which are all those that we're going to flash. So you can leave these two windows open, and now we're going to boot our phone into the fastboot mode. So go ahead and hold down the power button until you get the power off menu. Might not have all the different reboot options, so we'll just go ahead and power this off. Once it's off, I like to disconnect any power cords or anything so it's free from the thing. If you see that, it means I messed up. So I'm just going to force power off my phone, but yours should turn off normally. Okay, so when it's off, hold the power button and volume down together. I've got to do it real quick. So when your device is off, just hold the power button and volume down until you get into the bootloader, like that. Doesn't take too long, it's pretty quick. And when it says start, go ahead and grab your USB cable, the one that's Type-C to USB-A, and go ahead and plug that into your computer, just in this screen right here. And I'm going to go ahead and plug that into the USB port. Okie doke. You're going to hear a Windows chime saying that our phone is connected, which is good. And so now we're going to check to make sure that our device has been detected by Windows. So go ahead and right click on the start menu here, and then go all the way to the top to not power options, device manager. I'm going to open that up, and we're going to check on this list here that we have an Android device and Android bootloader interface up at the top. If not, sometimes it might appear down towards the middle, perhaps, as an Android device, or I can't remember the name, but a device with a triangle, yellow warning triangle. You've got to right click, and so you would have to extract the drivers here. I have a whole video on this, so if you're unsure how to do this part, just have a look at the video, and we'll teach you how to install the drivers for that. So what you want to do is extract them drivers, just to its folder, doesn't matter. And then go back to device manager and right click on whatever represents your device. For example, this one, if it wasn't detected properly, or so the drivers haven't been installed for it, click on update driver software, and then you want to browse your computer, then hit browse to look for a folder. In this case it's on the E drive, the SD card, E drive, and then the latest USB drivers. Just hit OK. Make sure include subfolders is checked, and hit next, and it'll go through the installation process, but it's already installed, so that's the basis of what to do. Again, if you don't know, if you're uncomfortable doing that or unsure how to do it, I do have a video on precisely installing drivers. I'll leave that in the link down below. So you can close device manager when it's all detected. And now in this folder with the exes, the fastboot.exe, you want to hold shift on your keyboard and right click and click on open command window here. You get this nice black command prompt, which is good. What we're going to do now is make it a little bit smaller. It's hard, because all the borders have shrunken on Windows 10. Okay, there we go. Now you can close this Android folder with the fastboot.exe and stuff, and we're going to focus on these two, a majority. So you will need to have installed the drivers and make sure that worked. So we're going to test that out right now. So type in fastboot devices, just like that, and it should return your serial number as your device. I'll just zoom in a little bit here, start to rearrange these things a little bit. Okay, so again we're going to have all of our files there, and it's a little bit hard to see, but hopefully that fixes itself up soon. So first things first, you can decide whether you want to keep your custom recovery and your user data, so anything on your SD card, but I think we're going to go for I'm going to leave my data on there. so I'm not going to flash user data. I'll explain further when I go along. So right now, you'll need to do a fastboot flash bootloader and leave a space on the end here, and just go ahead and drag in the bootloader image. You can see there in that folder. Just drag it on top of the command window like that, and then hit enter. And that will flash the bootloader here. Now it says it's okay and it's done. We're going to reboot back into the bootloader. So to do that, we're going to type in fastboot reboot-bootloader, just like that, and hit enter. You're going to see our device briefly boot back into the same screen here with the Android man. Next, we're going to flash the radio, it looks like. So again, we're going to type in fastboot space flash space radio space, and again drag in the radio image here onto the command window. Hit enter, and that'll flash the radio. And from there, we can now begin flashing the rest of the stuff. Okay, so after you flash the radio, I've just cleared the command screen here, messed up a little bit further on, so I'm going to do a retake of this. So now we have extracted all the images out of the zip file. Go ahead and we're going to flash the next thing on the list, which is our boot image. So type in fastboot space flash space boot space, and drag in that boot image, just like that. Hit enter, and now go ahead and flash the boot image. Next, we're going to flash the cache image. So type in fastboot again, space flash space cache space, leave a space in the end, and we're going to drag in the cache image like that. Hit enter, and that's done. Next image is we're going to go with the system image, the largest one out there. So type in fastboot space flash as usual, and then we're going to type in system like that, and leave a space in the end, and drag in the system image and hit enter. Now this is when it's going to copy the system image in little bits and pieces, sparse images. So I'm going to wait for all this to finish, and when it does, probably granted 1 or 2 minutes, we'll continue with the rest of the process. Okay, so it's finished flashing the image, system image, and it took about 78 seconds here. So just over a minute, which is fine. So now we head over to another fork in the road, I guess. We're going to flash the user data, recovery, and then vendor images. But there is an option here. If you're looking to fully return your phone to stock, and that means relocking the bootloader, so you don't get those corruption messages at all, you're going to need to flash every single image, which I'll do anyway. But if you plan on just going ahead and tinkering things again, you don't need to flash the recovery image, and you don't need to flash the user data image, just so you can get back to work a little bit quicker. So if you already have a custom recovery on it, and you want to keep it, you don't need to flash the recovery image. But I'm going for the full stock and Unroot kind of thing, so we can relock the bootloader afterwards. To erase user data, type in fastboot erase user data, and that will give it back to its full capacity rather than flashing a 32 gig image. So now we continue with the rest of the flashing process. Okay, so it looks like it didn't take that long. Next, we have the recovery. So I'm going to type in flash recovery. Where is it? Down here. Drag it on, hit enter. Okay, done. I think it looks like our last thing. So we're going to flash the vendor image. Very important for things to work. So I'm going to leave a space on that as usual at the end. We don't want to mount it. We'll drag it over and hit enter. And that is going to flash our vendor image to our phone, which should be the last thing that we need to flash. Okay, it does look like our last thing. So after you've done flashing all the images, apart from the user data image, now is the choice where you can relock the bootloader of the 6P here, or you can leave it as so. if you want to continue tinkering with it. But if you want to eliminate those pesky corruption messages, you're going to want to relock the bootloader, of course only after flashing all those images, so your phone is 100% completely stock. And to do that, you would just need to type in this simple fastboot command, which unfortunately I will not be actually sending because I like to leave my bootloader unlocked. So type in fastboot, flashing, like that, and lock. Just like that, hit enter, and you'll probably have to confirm it back on your 6P using the volume buttons and the power button. So that's it for this video, guys. I'm just going to reboot the phone from this point here. Just start it up. So if you lock the bootloader, it would erase the user data partition again through its stock recovery, and you won't see that error message, and that should become a locked padlock or disappear entirely. Can't remember, I did it once. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this worked out for you to unbrick, unroot, and of course return your 6P to stock. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave it down below in the comments. I'll be more than happy to try and help you out here. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.